Hello students, welcome back in our lectures Water Supply Engineering. Today we are going to cover unit number 5 distribution systems. Here are the contents that we are going to see. So we will start with the system of water distribution. Before going for actual systems, let's understand what exactly this distribution system is for. Generally, the main aim of distribution system is to provide a good quality as well as quantity of water towards the consumer end with a adequate amount of pressure, because every consumers want the water with a sufficient pressure head. So these systems are generally carried out into two forms. First will be a continuous system and second is intermediate system. Continuous system will have we can have a 24 hours of water supply for your consumers, which is an ideal system. Every person wants a water supply of 24 hours because we don't know when we are having a maximum amount of requirement for water. So ideal system to carry out is for 24 hours of supply towards our consumer. Intermediate system, here you will not be having any continuous supply, that is 24 hours of supply for consumer. Here you can have 2 hours, 3 hours or 4 hours of supply a day. There may be a schedule decided by that particular area only for the specific water supply. So this distribution may carry in continuous as well as an intermediate system. In out of this two, continuous system is most preferable for the consumer end or requirement of consumer. Now, what are the different main elements that your water distribution system will have? First is pumping stations and storage reservoirs that we will see afterwards, pumps and valves with other appurtenances. This we have already covered in the last lectures. Pumps we have covered, the valves which are there for pumps that we have already covered in last unit itself. Next is service connections. Here we are going to have some other service connections, for example, mainly water meters. Next one is fire hydrants. So these four clubbing together, these four different elements, you are going to have your water distribution system. Now, what are the main requirements for your water distribution system? What should be one a good water distribution system should have? First and foremost thing, water quality. Whenever you are going to design any distribution system, make sure whatever the water quality you have maintained in your treatment plant, that same quality should be given to the consumers. There should not be any quality change during your distribution pipes whenever your water is going to travel from your distribution system. Now your distribution system have to be capable of supplying water at all the intended places with a sufficient pressure. So what this point is saying, your distribution system has to be capable to give a sufficient pressure at each and every point that you have designed for your area to supply for your consumers. It should not be like a point which is far at the end of your distribution design that will have a very less pressure due to some lacunas in your system. So this should not be there. To maintain a good distribution system, you need to have each and every place that you have mentioned in your design should have a sufficient pressure head. Second important thing is it should be capable of supplying amount of water during firefighting. So whenever you have an emergency like fire outbursts or accidents, so your distribution system should be designed in such a way that a sufficient amount, a calculated amount of water should be provided for a firefighting purpose, which is these are the accidental utilizations, or uh, you may say urgent basis utilization, which are not their regular basis, but you may be requiring it in a future or in emergencies. Next point is layout should be such a way that no consumers would be without a water supply. Plus, during repair of your system, the section one particular section of your system should not be left out. What does this point means? Whenever you are going to design or select one particular layout for the area, each and every consumer should be included in that particular area. It should not be like half of the portion is providing water of that area and half of the portion is not having water supply properly. So whatever layout you have designed, it should be containing each and every place of that particular selected area. Plus, whenever your system is under maintenance or under repair, make sure that whatever layout you have selected, that layout will not disturb, or the repair or maintenance will not be disturbing your water supply towards your consumer. Next is, all the distribution pipes should be preferably laid 1 meter away or above from a sewer line. This is very, very important, as your distribution systems or your water pipeline, clear water pipelines are laid along the road lines. Similarly, your civil lines are also laid along the road lines also. So if you are not going to maintain a proper distance between these two pipelines, sewer and your water pipeline, there may be a big disaster which will happen if you are not going to maintain this proper distances. Contamination of your water, drinking water may happen. So this sewer lines and your water lines should be maintained some particular, for example, 1 meter distance in between these two. Last is, so we should be fairly watertight so that whatever the head losses are there, that head losses should be keeping at the minimum. Not only head losses, but the losses from your pipeline, that leakage loss and other losses should be calculated at the minimum. In such fashion only you need to design your water distribution system. So these are the 6 main criteria, you may say, which are the main requirements of a good distribution system. If you are going to conclude each and every 6 point that we have discussed right now, then that system will be treated as a good distribution system for your water design. Next is, how to design a distribution system. What are the main considerations that you need to consider while designing your distribution system? Now, for this point, we have already seen in chapter number 1, that is the water demand calculation. So, before going for any distribution design, you need to consider the main aim, that is the first calculation of what water or the quantity of water required for that particular area. What is the population of the area that you are going to serve the water? So during the design of distribution system, you need to consider water demand, which contains a peak hourly demand plus maximum daily demand plus fire demand. Amongst these three, what are the main demands that you need to consider first? So for that further calculation, you can go for average daily demand, consideration of average daily demand plus maximum hourly demand. So we have seen one graph over there which was giving the consumption and the time versus consumption. So in that particular graph, for one typical area, if that graph is showing maximum consumption, let's say in the morning 8 or morning 7, so likewise during that, whatever the maximum consumption were there, that consumption will be taken as a reference point for further design of distribution system. Okay, so here 1 2 3, these 3 points are required for your calculation. I will read out the last point, which is quite important. Peak hourly demand, which is taken from that particular graph, is 3 times the average daily demand for the population less than 100. Now this will not be there because there are very, very rare areas where you are having a population less than 100, sorry, 1000. So generally, taking peak hourly demand 2.5 times the average daily demand by 24, as we are considering hourly demands. So we have daily demand को 24 से divide करेंगे. So whatever comes, that will be your peak hourly demand. Okay, so this you need to consider while designing your water distribution system. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट वेलोसिटी यू शुड मेंटेन ड्यूरिंग द फ्लो. जो भी आपका डिजाइन फ्लो है वो कितना होना चाहिए, 0.9 to 1.5 मीटर पर सेकेंड. इनके बीच में यू कैन डिजाइन योर वेलोसिटी. व्हाट विल बी द अलाउड प्रेशर हेड? 3 meters will be the allowed one, but you can go for up to 70 meters. 70 meters से ज़्यादा they will not allowed for your distribution system. Head losses, allowed head losses 0.5 meter per 1000 meters, and the maximum allowed head loss is 10 meters per 1000 meters. Minimum pipe diameter for fire hydrants, you should be maintaining 6 inches. Reservoir capacity, it's 25% of your average daily demand. Average daily demand ke 25% you need to maintain your reservoir capacity. Okay, so here we have covered what will be the design. In the next lecture, we are going to cover methods of distribution system. If you like this video and want me to continue this video, please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for now. Next lecture, we will meet with a new point, that is methods of distribution. Thank you.